Well, the Blue Jays are back in the win column as they have taken Game 2 of the 4-game series versus the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to Clemhawks. I'm Gillis TV, and if you're new to Clemhawks and like anything baseball related, more so the Blue Jays and Minnesota Twins, we got it covered here on the channel. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, as we are on our way to 4,200 subscribers. Plus, we have a little bit of everything. Clemhawks also does some NASCAR, and we do pretty much any news in the MLB that we could get to in our busy days as well. Now, I did a video about 8 hours ago or so calling out the Toronto Blue Jays starting rotation. Besides, Kevin Gausman, who really did pitch well in his start versus the St. Louis Cardinals, but the other three didn't live up to expectations. And I did do another Kikuchi video, I would say probably in December or so, when I wasn't sure if he could be the fifth guy, but he did slightly prove me wrong today, as Kikuchi pitched 5 innings in the 4-1 win, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. Didn't get strikeouts, but he was getting the ground balls, the flyouts that he is known to do. And he really caused problems with the hitters with his fastball. He was locating that really well. He pitched a really good game. As for the rest of the pitching going throughout the game, it was a pretty good pitching game by the bullpen, as well as Yimi Garcia pitched 1 1/3 innings, only giving up a hit. Tim Mayza came in for 4 batters, struck all 4 out. Just what John Snyder would like from Tim Mayza. And then Eric Swanson pitched a third of inning just to get that final out before the bottom of the ninth. And the Canadian Jordan Romano came in and did the Romano things, getting the save, putting the ball game away. And this was just a really good overall game. Couple close plays on both sides, especially with the Blue Jays on the offensive side. Could have went probably either way, I would say. But hey, that's why I don't get paid to go and watch the game and be the, booth person to tell John Snyder to challenge it. But it was a really good game overall. Kikuchi on fire, the bullpen. Now let's get to the hottest hitter the Toronto Blue Jays have right now. And yes, Matt Chapman, entering his final year, potentially with the Blue Jays, comes up clutch with 3 more hits and 4 at-bats. Today, he scored a run, he got an RBI, he did everything you could ask for, and he hit his 5th double of the year already. And Dalton Varsho, another guy who we just got in that trade, showing why the Blue Jays brought him in. He had a really great bunt single to help out. He hit a home run, the second of the Blue Jays season, of course, Bichette. And this was just ultimately a good game by the team in general, and pitching helps that. They said on the broadcast, I had a booster juice here, I'll show you. It's pretty damn good. But this is what the broadcast said, and I agree with them. This is a new look Blue Jays offense. You look back to 2014, 2015 when the era of the Toronto Blue Jays was like, we don't want to play the Blue Jays. They're that good. Donaldson, Batista, Encarnacion, Tulowitzki, all those guys. Those were home run hitting teams. And that's pretty much all they had, except for maybe Dalton Pombey as the stealing man. They had some stealing, but it was more, we're winning games by hitting home runs. We're going to cream home runs. And the new look Blue Jays from that point was all teams that we're going to be hitting home runs. That's it. That's what we're going to be known for. Now it's, hey, we can use speed. We can steal bases. George Springer had 2 stolen bases in the top of the ninth. They credit for 1. They will change it to second as the guy was holding him on at first. But 2 stolen bases for George Springer in the top of the ninth. Varsho, there was Chapman on second, bunts it down the first base line and gets on base, beating the throw. And Chapman could easily go to third with no outs at that point. Where this is a different looking Blue Jays offense, and they're going to find ways to incorporate everyone. And it helps with the likes of Varsho, Whit Merrifield, in that aspect who can do that. Interesting stat, Varsho is 16 for 17, getting on base while bunting. That is absurd. We have not seen those numbers in a long time. That just bunting his way on is working for Varsho, let alone the power. So, of course, Kikuchi is the guy I just want to keep talking about because he went out there and did his thing. I know it's only 5 innings pitched, but he gave three hits up, 1 run, which was earned on, I think it was a first inning. Let me just check. I didn't watch the start of the game. But yeah, so bottom second, he gave up a homer on a full count. That was the only mistake he made throughout the rest of the game there. And good on him to be in there fighting for that spot because there was a lot of conversation until Mitch White's injury news came up that Kikuchi might not even be a starter. You know, you got Ricky Tideman coming up in the minors. You got Nate Pearson. You got a bunch of people in the AAA that could have pushed for that spot. But Kikuchi had a pretty good spring training and had a pretty good game today. And, you know, credit Danny Jansen, too, with Kikuchi's success, is he helps Kikuchi. He does that a lot. And they're showing how Varsho threw to Jansen from left field, and Danny Jansen dove into the runner to get him out, saving a run that way. So, you know, it is what it is. That's 2 wins out of the first 5 games for the Toronto Blue Jays. In my video, I did say Blue Jays need to go 3-0 in the next 3 games against the Kansas City Royals, and that's what they did here. They took 1 of the 3 they need. Get back in the win column, find that true identity. I understand, you know, with spring training, there's a lot of moving parts that are playing. It's not the whole actual team playing until maybe the final 3 games if you're lucky because of injuries and stuff. But this is the team that they're going to find out how to play the way they were brought in to do. And defensively, that will come, especially that outfield. That outfield is insane for sure. But like I said, Blue Jays win 4-1 on 11 hits to Kansas City's 4. Kikuchi with the win, going 5 strong. Jordan Romano with his second save of the season. And, you know, George Springer didn't have a hit. He was really productive on the walks, though. When he walked in the 9th inning, like I said, 2 stolen bases. Bichette was 1 for 5. Guerrero was 1 for 4. Chapman was 3 for 4. Varsho 2 for 4 with the home run and a bunt single. And Danny Jansen, of course, was 0 for 4 in this game. But Kevin Kiermaier, too, is keeping his average at .412 for Kevin Kiermaier. And that was a question mark coming into this season, was can Kevin Kiermaier find his offensive game? So far, not going to jinx it, knock on wood, that he will keep up with that. And Matt Chapman, like I said off the top of this video, 579, 5 doubles this season already in 5 games. He is being a beast out there. I really hope the Jays do find a way to re-sign him for at least a couple more years while Bo Bichette and Vladdy Guerrero are still young and in their prime. But that's it for me today. I'm Gillis TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm on out of here.